The Disruptor of JOYS. This is an interesting unit. A little bit of background. A while back I made a couple mods really just about like design changes and all that. Spent hours and hours and hours like making them and testing them and never released anything. But I feel like the Disruptor is still a really relevant thing to tackle potentially. So yeah, a little history on the Disruptor. It is a unit that is always, it's always been having these different changes done to it because they're really trying to find a spot for it that allows it to be useful but not overpowered. See, the thing with the Disruptor is it's always from the get-go been somewhat inconsistent. It's like the latest iterations aren't as bad, but it's always been like either you get the shots off and you're good, or you don't and you're screwed. More lately, it's been more of kind of a zoning, engagement forcing, or engagement and avoiding unit, kind of a but it still has like that devastating effect all in one burst. And I believe that if the strength of the Disruptor was not concentrated all within that single burst, that it would be a better unit, just in terms of design. So I've done some changes to this Disruptor to make it consistent for the user. So like if you whiff your shot, it's hard to whiff this shot, and I'll show you why. And also this Disruptor has a normal attack, which I will show you, and both of those have a new drawback for the Disruptor. So even though you can get some more consistency out of it as a user, as the opponent facing this Disruptor, you also have more options to counter it. So let's get into what the actual changes are. So first of all, you'll see the cost is now 100, 200. So it is a more gas heavy unit in this iteration. So it also has, like I said, the normal attack, and you'll notice its normal attack can attack air. I put that in not because Robo needs air. Robo doesn't necessarily need anti-air, but because since the Disruptor is more gas heavy now, this means it might be harder to fit in some of those anti-air units for Protoss.
It is known.
And this Disruptor is really weak in other areas, which I will explain. So it doesn't really need to be countered in direct combat by air units necessarily. So if we go back, I'll show you how its new shot functions. So this shot, I'll just have this bio on hold here. I have full upgrades and everything all done. Its normal attack is also spell damage, so it's not affected by upgrades, but armor also does not mean that it deals less damage. So if the opponent has armor, it'll still deal full damage. The shot here, you'll see, has 3 different zones on it: outer, inner, and in between. Basically, this shot has 3 different weapons, all with ranges within those 3 areas. So the closer you get the shot to the opponent, the more damage it's going to deal. Now those 3 weapons are gonna pick like their own targets. You can't target fire with the 3 weapons that are on the shot. And then the shot deals a small amount of damage when it explodes, 35, and it's within that inner radius because I gave the shot a collision radius. So it can actually hit against units. It can't phase through units. This was done for several reasons. So like if I put some Zealots here and they're all on hold position, and this Disruptor can't shoot from behind them. Like, it has to be out here. So you actually have to position this Disruptor well in order to use it well. But anyways, another thing concerning the Disruptor's weapon here. The closer you get to your opponent before you fire, the more damage you're going to deal, because a lot of that damage is in the shot actually shooting its own weapons as it travels. So if I'm this close, I'm going to deal more damage than if I'm, let's see, I will reset it here, than if I'm a little farther back, like here. See how that works? So you can keep your Disruptors safe in the back. You're gonna be getting less damage output from them, but you can do that, or you can move them to the front. This actually makes them work a little bit more like a Reaver. The closer they are, the more damage they deal. That's one aspect of the Reaver that made them well designed in Broodlord. It's that they were you had to get them close to the army to maximize their damage output. If they were far away, then you simply didn't get very good damage output from them, because they had to be in close range to shoot. This Disruptor, you can still get a little damage from it if you're far away, but not a whole lot. I'll show you how it performs, and I'll show you more about what I was talking about with the consistency. So if I stem this bio and go forward, these Disruptors are unsupported. They will still lose to the bio ball after dealing quite a bit of damage to it, but they'll still lose to it without support. You'll still have to use some other units in order to get full use out of this Disruptor. But it is still a pretty strong unit. So, like, if I just change up a little how I do this here. Yeah, I mean, there's only a few bio units left consistently. And that's just stem moving the bio units, not really much micro on either side. Just like microing the balls into the bio ball is not hard. So yeah, and Liberators, like, even though these guys have anti-air, it's a pretty short range, so Liberators are still going to be dealing damage until the Disruptors catch up. So you do still want to protect your Liberators with bio, but your Liberators can also protect your bio.
Commander.
Zerg. Now that, if I put some Lings against this, and I believe I turned, let's see, I need to turn Adrenal off for this, I think, because, I mean, most games, by the time Disruptors come out, your Lings aren't going to have adrenal glands yet. So, boom. I actually have no idea what happened there. That was not supposed to explode that quickly. Let's try that again. Must be a bug. Oh no, it's not a bug, it's just the order of when they exploded. But yeah, so you can't just use Zerglings to counter the Disruptors. I'll show you now if they're I'll show you their weaknesses here in a second. But like, say I have Roach Hydra. These huge roaches here, this was just a different idea I had. Don't pay too much attention to it for this video. I'm just going to use them to be a buffer for the Hydras like they'd normally be. So it deals a decent amount of damage to it, to this Roach Hydra ball, but not a ton. Again, I'm going for consistency, not like anything devastating here. I do 10 mutas against this. I actually think that, excuse me, the disruptors will beat them. I could be wrong. No, I think the mutas win this. Yeah, okay. Yeah. That's right, that's why I just tested. I thought I tested 15 before, I guess I tested 10. So yeah, they can fight against mutas, but the mutas can still beat them. And I know this is a higher cost for mutas, but given Zerg's economy and like Protoss isn't going to have a big ball of just disruptors usually, whereas the Zerg might have this huge ball of mutas. I feel like that's a fair test. So yeah, onto their weaknesses, I guess. Oh, Protoss, I forgot. I gotta do it against Protoss. So, they actually perform quite well against Archons. So if I attack Archons here, just notice how fast those Archons die. However, I put some Immortals here. Notice just how fast they just kill those disruptors, just so quickly. Alright, so yeah, so good against Archons, not great against Immortals. And Disruptor wars are, I think, going to be a little more interesting than they currently are. Because if I do like a oh, where's my disruptors? There they are. So I can do this. Notice it's not just all instant death with the disruptors. Like I can even just A move them against each other. Like say you have a player who's not that great yet and he wants to make disruptors. He still has the option of A moving them. Not that great of an option compared to actually using them correctly, but it's not like they're just completely useless. Okay, onto the weaknesses. Besides like the positioning thing I mentioned earlier where you have to actually have them like on the edges of your army in order to let them be effective, they are energy based. Both their main attack and their ability, the shot going out, the ball, both of those cost energy. So if I, let's see, I'll just throw a few add-ups here. If I take this guy and shoot, takes away 25 energy. Okay. If I have these add-ups on hold, if I take this guy and A move, his attack will take 5 energy away per attack. Now I will note I've put the option on here to disable its normal attack. So if you hit C there, then if I get close, it is a move attack, so it is move fire. So, but I move close, see they're not attacking. If I enable it again, notice the radius of their attack range comes up again, and they start attacking again. So yeah, that's how the attacks work. They're energy based. So another thing, put a ghost out here. If they run out of energy for any reason while the shot is out, like they can't do their normal attack while their shot is out. But say I move my ghost up here and this guy shoots and I EMP, notice how the shot just disappears. So if a shot's coming towards you and you can EMP the disruptor, then the shot just disappears.
Give me the sit rep.
If you're Zerg, if you use Viper Pull, it makes the shot dissipate. If you use Neural Parasite, it makes the shot dissipate. There's a bug in this. Let's see, Fungal Growth should make the shot dissipate. It doesn't in this mod because I either forgot to put it in or took it out for whatever reason. But any like negative effect on the disruptor will make their shot dissipate. So they're kind of the counter to them is spellcasters essentially. So you have zoning units which can be decent counters to them still, like Broodlords, siege tanks, but really the spellcasters are what you're going to want to go for to counter these guys. Also, another thing, I put an upgrade in for this that can be gotten at the Robo Bay. It's basically an energy regeneration upgrade, since that is its weakness. It makes it just a little bit more forgiving if you run out of energy, so you can engage faster. But it is locked behind an upgrade. So if I go to my Protoss upgrades here, I go to, let's see if I can remember which one it is. I think it's that one. Potentially. Nope, it's not it. It's this one. Refined Solarite. So this increases the energy regeneration rate of disruptors. It's 150 at the Robo Bay. And basically after you get it, then your disruptors will be able to engage faster, and they might get 1 or 2 more shots in before they run out of energy. 1 or 2 more normal weapon shots, like not 1 or 2 more 25 energy draining Solarite cell attacks. So yeah, that's what that is. So let's see, I think that pretty much sums it up. I guess I'll do an engagement test with the actual context of an army. So I'm going to move these guys out to the edges because that's where I'm going to want them if I'm going to attack with them effectively. And I'm going to spread the bio out just to get good concave and all that. Okay. Stim move. I did not exactly do what I wanted to as a Protoss. However, Protoss still won. Equal supply. Protoss generally has more supply efficient armies. I'm going to add in a few liberators here though.
Yes, sir.
Just to, like, this is probably going to be a more realistic situation than the other one was. Like, the bio player's probably going to have a few liberators there. These guys out. Zealots in front. Okay. And I'm going to attack, stim, attack. It's hard controlling 2 armies, so bear with me. Yeah. So, Terran wins that one still.
Got freedom.
It's still not a good idea to attack into liberators.
Moving into position.
Now, I get that this isn't exactly a 100% realistic test because, I mean, I'm one dude. And I haven't, like, done all the math for all the precise army compositions here, but that's something around like what you might see on Ladder or something. Let's see, I'll do a Zerg one. 2 Zealots might do it there. Be surprised what 2 Zealots can do. I know, I've tested a lot of these. Okay, here I've got no infestors, just roach Hydra.
Speak and be heard.
Boom. So just a demonstration on how to counter the Disruptor with infestors here. Yeah, again, fungal should do it. It doesn't because I didn't put it in the mod yet, or I took it out for some reason. Archon's back here, Disruptor over here, Disruptor over here. This guy still used up. Okay. Yep. And this one will have Zealot, Archon, Disruptor.
Speak and
So,
be heard. Your demands.
this guy over here, this guy over here, Archons after Zealots. Then just spread these guys out a little bit because they are charge lots. So it doesn't matter that much, especially in a live game. Mortal army just swamps that. Zealot, Archon, and a couple of mortals. And then I even up the supply here with some couple zealots. So I only have a couple of mortals in this army. Like, that's not very many immortals. Whereas I have 2 fully charged disruptors in this army. Equal supplies. Let's see what happens. I think part of that was due to how badly the Immortals targeted things. Like, look at this Archon, it has like almost no HP. So I'm gonna run that one again just because it was so close.
Your demands.
Using back. Okay.
Ancient glory, we begin anew.
That should do it. Okay. The closer you get to the opponent before you fire, the more damage you're going to do. Yeah. Disruptor side completely takes it this time around. Going to make supplies even here. Got Archon, Zealot, High Templar against Archon, Zealot, Disruptor. Given what we know about this Disruptor now, which do you think will win? Feedbacks are nice. For storms. What do you know? Yeah, the feedbacks really make the disruptors sitting ducks. Also, if you would like to play with that disruptor, just go to arcade, search for Project Justice. Actually search for Project Serenity. That actually has the live version. it has a bunch of other weird changes in it that you can take a look at if you want, but it just bio is pretty much the same, so as well as like Zealot, Archon, and all that. So if you want to test it against those things, test it against Mutas and all that, you can test it in Project Serenity. Project Justice essentially has the same thing, except the shots weapons also have anti-air, and I think you can target fire with those. It was a bit strong in that one, so that's why I prefer the Project Serenity version right now. So anyways, yeah, so yep, that's how you get to it if you want to play with it. You can also find the extension mods for Project Justice and Project Serenity on here. So if I want to create with mod, if you search for Project Serenity or Project Justice, and it's going to be called Project Justice Alpha. But the Project Serenity version of the Disruptor, again, is the one that I like better out of the two. So yeah, feel free to go ahead and give that a shot. Again, you'll have to bear with the other changes at the same time, so it's not necessarily going to be representative of what it would be like in game, but you can at least play with it. So yeah. So yeah, I think that pretty much does it for this video. So I hope you like it. If you don't like it, then that's fine too. Just let me know what you think, and I'll see you.